Alright, who are we with?
Paycer Mensik.
And what'd you do?
I got 4th place at YCS LA. I mean the LA Regional that happened this weekend. And I played Adventure Spright with some Ignorance in the main board. And let's get to it. So, standard 3s. I played one of each, and I played Pixies because I wanted to get over big stuff. I didn't really want to lose to a Blue Eyes or just something random like that, or just something I couldn't get over because this deck has problems getting over big monsters. So I opted to play this over the second red. Carrot got sided out a lot if I felt like it wasn't necessary for the matchup, but I felt good really playing it because it made starter that much more valuable in certain scenarios. Frogs. Didn't play Dupe. I think Dupe's a brick. I feel like in later builds, Dupe will be a lot better, but for right now, I just wanted as much gas or as much blowout cards as possible in my deck, so that was one of the cards in the chopping block. The Adventure package. If you're not playing Adventure, I really feel like you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Illegal Night came up. I felt like that would be a little interesting in the mirror match to just bounce 2 monsters, but I couldn't make room for it, so it'll probably be in the next draft. But no complaints on this ratio right here. Spright cards. Really cool. Second one kind of came up, but I feel like it's bricky. I used to side the extra one, but I'm siding another Spright card. In the sideboard, that really put this deck overhead. 3 Prosperity, 3 Super Poly, Dark Ruler. Prosperity is just 3 extra copies of every other card in your deck. Super Poly, on the other hand, Super Poly got sided out a lot. It's probably one of the worst cards against Tier Element, but I like to put it in for the mirror match because I really don't think Spright respects Super Poly. And when you just eat their board, or if you starters, you bring out red, you take their elf. No one's just really ready for this card. Also Flunder. I just didn't want to worry about that deck at all, and this kind of covers like all of the awkward matchups. Played 3 Imperm, because I feel like you still have to play this card. It was either going to be this or Valor, but I just wanted to play around talents, and this got sided out a lot. But the card that really just took the whole weekend and made people just die. Triple D barrier. Poor guy. Round 9, I played against a a pure branded Despia, and he did the whole set up Scythelog during your standby phase with the trap card. And I just simplified his board, and I opened this, and then I just went wide with Sprights, set this, and then flipped it on his Branded Fusion, and he was physically not okay. He was just not doing good. This came up against Spright, just call it XYZ, and they can't really get going. Obviously this is insane against Tier. I just thought it was a good call for the weekend. I would say the weekend calls were probably, in the main deck, were just these. I feel like these were the cards that were really just going to get me far. Super Poly didn't perform as well as I did, but D-Barrier was honestly just insane. Because if you got Dark Ruler, you can also just flip it and then they can't play. And then Called By, because this card's at 1 for a reason.
Is it 40?
42. I really wanted to make it 40, but to keep steady ratios of just 3-3-3 and then all the 1-ofs, I felt like 42 was okay. Played Red Resonator, 2 Anti-Spell, Red Reboot, and Duster. This Duster probably should have been the 3rd Anti-Spell. Whenever this got flipped on me, it was Curtains, so I felt like I should have had 3. And then I played 3 Evenly, because Evenly Dark Ruler is still just not okay. And then I played Shifter and Gamma Burst. This was probably one of my favorite combos in the sideboard, because you just flip it against Tier and they just pass, and you go wide with your Sprights, and then you activate this, or you search this off Jets, and then you pretty much swing for game. Unfortunately, round 10 against
The boy.
against the boy Kyle. He normaled Rhino Heart. I shifted him. He banished a card because he had to and passed, and he had the field spell up. So he had 2k body, and I just went wide with Spright and did 8100 damage over the 2k body. And yeah, I think this is going to be like a mainstay staple for the side if you're going to be playing like any form of Spright. But the card that was insane that like everyone had to like read and like check out and like they didn't even know it existed was Silent Graveyard. For those of you who don't know, it's just pitch 1, Dweller, and like tier can't play, awkward matchups can't play. It's just honestly like bananas that no one knew what this card did or it existed. And I would honestly just side these 10 cards in going second against Spright, and then I would side these 3 in and then keep the D barriers in. Or my bad, sorry. Side these 3 for tier. And then I would keep the 3 D barriers in, and then they effectively just can't play, especially through negates like that. And then the extra. Three elf. Third one always came up. These ones, they came up when they did. I stole a toad once. Dark, ironically, is kind of like lackluster. They just come up when they come up, but they're not necessary. It's weird. IP Unicorn didn't come up, but I felt comfy playing it. Zeus Package, I really don't like this personally, but I feel like you have to play it still. 2 Gigasplight, Toad, and the Duo for Super Poly. And I didn't play Mud Dragon because I don't know like how good that would be in like other matchups. I really just wanted to stomp on like any rogue and make sure I like solidified that matchup. And then if I came across tier, it was just like an easy side out. And then this is like the best prosperity target. But yep, that was a Taco Tuesday with some bombs inside.
Shoutouts.
Oh yeah, shout out. Shout outs to Thaddeus and Dalvin for just doing like hours of testing because like my work schedule is like not good for locals, so I thank them a lot for that. Shout out to my girlfriend Ashley who just puts up with this card game and people play testing till midnight at my house. Shout out to AJ. He was the head judge for that event and it was insane. It was like almost 1,000 people, so I give him that because I think he said he was on like a migraine for like the last 5 rounds. Shout out to Gerardo, Kyle, and Andrew, the boys, for also topping. It's always good to talk with the boys, especially when you've been playing with them for so long. And then shouts out to First or Last Gaming to have me on the channel.
Any closing thoughts? Would anything change?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this one a lot. Probably Super Poly. I think Super Poly was probably like the most underperforming card. But given for like what an LA regional is, I felt like it was kind of necessary. I don't know what I would take this out for. I would probably just make this another one of, so it could be like an even 40. But this was honestly my weakest card. D-Barrier was like my favorite card. And this would probably be like the illegal night, just so I have options covered, because that's pretty much what I wanted to do like all day. And then, Harpies would be the 3rd anti-spell, and like this card is like honestly
Everything else is broken.
Everything's just insane.
Yeah.
Like no one had anything to do against it.
Yeah, I was gonna play the Shifter Gamma Burst, and everybody convinced me not to the last minute, and I was like,
Shifter Gamma Burst is honestly just like, I don't want to say it's unfair, but it's on the cusp of unfair because your opponent just can't play.
because they're gonna pass on the open board.
Yeah, they're gonna pass on an open board, and you're gonna swing with like 4 monarchs.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I love this card. It's probably gonna get banned.
Thanks, Paycer.
Yep.
Congrats.
Deserved it.
Deserved it. First top.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me on the channel.